live on YouTube right now. And if you are watching, I see there are some people watching live. Drop a message in the chat and we'll do a shout out for you throughout the show this morning. So what are we going to get up to? Well, first thing we do is we have some fun news. I'll talk about a few things all about Explore Protech Tribe and what's new, especially some amazing videos we've been posting on our YouTube channel. And if you're here and you're not a subscriber yet, please go ahead and subscribe. There's buttons all over the place. Just subscribe to our channel, then you don't miss out on our great content. And then we are going to be having our weekly interview. And today we're talking something very good, something very healthy, something I'm probably not that good at, but she's going to help me and teach me. We're going to be chatting to Natalie Joel, and she's going to be talking all things living keto with Nat. So I'm sure she's got some nice advice for us coming up later on in the show. Quick mention, have to say this, it's the big event. We've been waiting for it for a long time. It's been a couple months in planning. 29th of March, so just less than a week from now. It's the biggest global online speed networking we've done in a long time. We've teamed up with the Grand Connection, which is a big business network in Canada, and we're doing what's called a mixer for 2 hours. And it's like two networks coming together as one. And lots of people, lots of great opportunities for you to connect with amazing entrepreneurs around the world and make those real, genuine connections, because we're all about relationship first and then business later. And we've designed it in a way that you can meet as many people as you possibly can within those 2 hours and get those great connections going. So 29th of March, the link is down below to register and giving away 5 free tickets. So there's a coupon code there. So click on the link, go register, and then you use the coupon code for your free ticket just because you were here and watching. I would love to see you there on the 29th of March at 7 to 9 p.m. GMT +2. We do have to do it late in the evening because, well, we're on one side of the world and they're on the other side. So we're going to get the two time zones working together. I'm still getting my head around them having just changed their times and turning their clocks back and stuff because it changes season. But hey, anyway, it'll work. It'll be there. It'll be great. So I'll see you there. Then we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So as I said, subscribe. The challenge has been sitting for a long time and it's there. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing some giveaways, especially on the show for that. But I will be doing this show live on YouTube while getting waxed. And I have to present the show professionally while getting waxed at the same time live on air. So that will be a fun challenge. And if you'd like to see that, well, make sure that you subscribe, because that'll be an interesting one. Also, show's currently looking for a sponsor. Your name could be all over there. Could have a nice intro video, could highlight you every week, you know. So my details are down below. Give me a shout. Okay, here's to the fun. Now, have you heard of it? I love doing this segment because I find the latest, greatest things that are coming through and give you those tips and trends to look out for. And have you ever heard of something called Web 3? So it's like the third evolutionary period of the internet. I didn't even know this existed until today while I was doing research for the show. And it's really, really cool. So to understand what it is, you need to first understand what Web 1 was. And that was the initial period of the internet. That's 1991 to 2004. And basically it just was a collection of links and homepages. Remember that old internet? And it was so slow. And people just had a homepage and links and you just went there. And it was very basic internet, but you still got the information you're looking for. The next evolution was Web 2, which had huge improvements. And it's, excuse me, it's referred to the read-write version of the internet. And it's based around the idea of the web not just being links and homepages, but an actual platform of evolving content and things where you can interact. And it's more an interactive version of the internet. So you not only were consuming content, but you're interacting with the content and producing your own content and publishing it. So the likes of blogs and your wikis and internet forums and marketplaces, that was the next evolution. And if you think about it, now that I'm talking about it, it makes sense. First, the internet was go, look, see. Second version was go, look, see, and interact. And now we're getting into Web 3, which is this next generation. And it's really like, they're saying it's like a decentralized internet defined upon open source. So open source is like software where you can see the coding and you can interact with it as well. You don't have to pay for the software, and you can how do I explain this? It would be like creating a machine and then publishing the engineering diagrams of it and all the details behind it. And then you could like tweak it and work on it and collaborate with them, if that makes open source more, yeah, as well as blockchain technology. So investors decide what happens on the internet. So the long and short of it is Web3 that's coming is this next evolution of the internet, where it's still very interactive, but it's going to be driven by the blockchain and open source software. And then you're looking at things like, you'll have one anonymous single sign up with one username and authentication method across all websites and accounts. And so you don't have to remember all your usernames and passwords for the 20 million. You'll have one authenticated, anonymous single login for everything. And that's when also this metaverse concept starts coming in, and this whole new, far more interactive and involved version of the internet is coming through. And that's Web3, and we're starting to get into that one. So that's pretty cool. Just sharing the trend with you. And then, as you know, you might be able to be an early adopter and get in there a little bit sooner. Other news. So do you have your own Netflix account, or do you have a family member or a friend that shares their password with you very, very kindly? Well, Netflix has cottoned onto that, and they're actually busy testing means and software in certain countries to try and prevent people from sharing their passwords. Of course, they did the membership version where you can have multiple users and you pay a little bit extra, and then it's kind of like password sharing because you've got a whole lot of people. But they've gone out and said there's too many people now sharing passwords. So if you're one of those, I'm probably sure most of South Africa is going, oh no, please don't test it here because that's what we do. But yeah, just so you know, it's coming. Netflix is watching. And then the next one also, again, this is one of the big trends at the moment. I mean, that's what's happening all about NFTs, which is those non-fungible tokens. Fungible tokens. Fungible meaning you can't make it up. It's those graphics that are created and then it's sold on the internet only in digital format, where it's authenticated in terms of ownership and the person who produced it through blockchain. So it can't be duplicated without the blockchain, et cetera, et cetera. And those are very, very big at the moment. It's growing. It's a huge industry. And so, of course, Mark Zuckerberg has cottoned onto this and is saying that they're going to come to Instagram. So there is another opportunity. I keep talking about these NFTs, and your next opportunity could be on Instagram for them. He said the move's going to happen within the next several months, so it's actually not too far away. And he said users will be able to mint new NFTs on Instagram, as well as bringing over existing ones. So that's cool. I could see maybe a whole new career there, where you're actually an NFT, you've got like a big audience already, and you're an influencer or whatever, and now you start creating your own NFTs on Instagram and earning income from that, or reselling it as well. You can bring them in from other places and sell them on Instagram. So that's what some stuff and some fun news and things that are happening and trending. So go check them out. Onto some tribe news, and all the links for this is down below. These are some of the videos we posted recently. The coffee shop show from Monday was all about entrepreneur COVID survival stories. We also had John from the Pink Lurie Foundation. They've got an amazing initiative running at the moment. So definitely go check out that one. Some really inspirational stories, what people have learned, and things that you can learn on their entrepreneurial survival stories during COVID period, which is amazing. The link for that is down below. Then there's Creating Business Success One Step at a Time with Christine Campbell-Rappin, who's an absolute powerhouse from Canada, Canadian land. She was speaking, she said, or the topic is, speaking is the fastest way to cash, but do you do it well? And I like to think I do it well, but if you don't, she shares some great tips on how to do that, as well as an invitation on how she can assist you. Link for that's down below. Money Magnet with the amazing Dr. Mayer, all about finance. And this video is the concepts to drive entities' financial future for business. I tell you what, he's all about financial intelligence and teaching you how to do your finances and how to change your relationship with finances. So it's a great video and great series from him that you can catch the link down below. And then we had lots of fun on the Fbiz show on Friday. It was themed St. Patrick's Day, and we spoke to Natasha Ungerer. It is hard to say her surname, but it's all about scribble art and designer art. So we talk about art therapy, graphic design, brand building, all of those things, while at the same time about real great art and how you can get art pieces and original art pieces in your home. So go check out that link. It is one of the funniest shows we've done, but there's lots of great things to check out. So the links are down below. Events coming up, as I mentioned, the 29th of March is our Global Online Speed Networking that we're doing with Grand Connection. It's going to be huge. Grow your network through your network. You can book your tickets now. There are 5 free tickets with that coupon down below. Go and register 29th of March and explore VAN. So calling all virtual assistants from around the world. Here's a network of virtual assistants banding together to build their industry, support each other, share work, share ideas, training, tips, trains, you name it, it's all there. And their next big event's happening on Thursday. That's tomorrow. I should know that because I'm going to be emceeing it. But yes, I'm your MC, and it's Explore VAN, the Explore Virtual Assistant Network. Their big event happening tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. GMT+2. The link is down below to go and register. So if you're a virtual assistant or you know somebody, get them to register and attend the event. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for them. And then there's links down below. We've got an Explore Protech shop where you can buy things. There's a whole lot of different things, from mugs to jewelry to me doing a video for you, whatever the case is. There's loads of cool ones down below, so go and check them out. And now it is time for us. Let me quickly check our live feed. No, there's a few people watching, but they haven't done any shout outs in the chat. Please do so, then I can mention you and highlight you. But we're highlighting somebody today. Natalie Joel joins us on Global News for Entrepreneurs. Good day, Natalie. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I cannot complain. I was going to say good morning, but since somebody could be watching this from anywhere in the world, it could be any time of the day. So anyway, Natalie, we are chatting all things keto today, and it's living keto with Nat. What, please, pray tell, is keto? I don't know.
Okay, well, I must tell you, interestingly, that it's now coming up to 7 years that I've been eating this way. And the keto, actually ketogenic, which is a very fancy schmancy word, it's basically a way of eating that nourishes your body and gets it into shape. So as one of my coaches says, before you can lose weight, you have to gain health. So most of us, or not most of, a lot of us in the Western world are sluggish. We eat on the run. We stop at the latest, the closest quick shops to buy whatever. And we don't think of what we're putting in our foods. Because if we don't, when we were little and children, our parents used to say, be careful what you eat. You are what you eat. And you always say, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's only in the last few years that I actually realized that if you're going to eat junk, your body's junk, and you're getting problems. If you don't have enough nutrients, your body's going to be screaming for help. And we break out into all types of terrible autoimmune illnesses. And most autoimmune illnesses weren't heard of 100 years ago. 100 years ago, how many people did you know who had all these things that are wrong with people today? And we take it for granted. We say, oh, we're getting older, therefore we must have this, that, and the other. But it's not so. When I started, I've been trying for about 40 years to lose weight. I got married and I started putting on weight. And with each pregnancy, exponentially got bigger and bigger and bigger. It was terrible. I tried everything. I went to dietitians. I went to various weight clubs, to try and lose weight. And I was starving all the time and nothing worked. You lose a bit and then you're so hungry that you can't stick to it. And then about 7 years ago, somebody suggested to me that I try the South African version of keto is Banting, which I actually prefer. It's more holistic. It's a wider thing and it's sustainable. It's got a wider range of foods that you can eat. And I told my husband, he said he'll do it with me. He was also overweight at the time. And the most fascinating thing, we didn't know that there were health benefits. We just thought we're doing it to lose weight. Is that within a few months, when my husband had diabetes, he went to the doctor for his twice yearly check, whatever it is. I can't remember how often he goes. And the doctor said to him, Howard, your sugar levels are improving. What are you doing? So he says, I'm not doing anything different. I am. I'm doing banting. So the doctor said to him, whatever you're doing, keep doing. And now, a few years down the line, the doctors have said to him, you no longer have diabetes. I mean, that's incredible, incredible. Because when you're diagnosed with diabetes, and he was diagnosed about 10 years ago, he was told, Howard, you've got high sugar, you've got diabetes. It's lifelong. It's going to get worse. We're going to start you with glucophage, but you're going to end up with, you're going to have insulin. You're going to have injections. You've got to be so careful. You've got to check your feet very carefully because people lose feeling in their feet. They get neuropathy. Their eyesight goes. They get stomach issues. People get gangrene because they don't know when they hurt themselves. So they can't fix it. So they get damaged and blah, blah, blah. But nobody says, well, maybe they do now in the last few years, I don't know. Change what you eat and you will reverse your diabetes. And that is what happened. His doctor is thrilled with him, and it's the best. To me, that's the greatest. I used to have extremely high blood pressure. I used to have migraines, and I used to talk like my voice was like this, stuffy nose, polyps. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just saying what we've experienced. And people say, how can you keep on eating like this? And I say, but do I want to get migraines again? Do I want to get headaches again? Do I want to get, I don't need that thing. I can do very well going somewhere and just having the vegetables and if the meat is a problem, whatever it is, I don't need all these ill problems. I don't need it. And as my husband, as I'm not having diabetes, it's amazing. So the way of eating is we don't eat, if it comes from a factory, basically, you don't have it. If it's animals, fish, eggs, vegetables, a bit of fruit, A for away. And you're never hungry because you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full. And that's my motto. And I tell my clients that.
So
you don't eat.
That's what I was going to say, is it makes sense. Your body's a machine at the end of the day. So whatever you put in will affect the machinery. So it's like putting dirty diesel into an engine. It's going to clog up the engine, and then those pistons aren't going to fire and all of those things, and it's going to get slow and sluggish and not a good machine. So it makes sense. What we put in is what we get out. So the big question is, as you mentioned there briefly, what it's all about. Okay, so nothing out of a factory, nothing processed, that makes sense. But what are the main foods that one can look at and maybe as a way to introduce them to the banting diet for them to ease into it? Because obviously it's not just something you can.
Okay. Before I go on, I just want to show you how I used to look. I've lost 60 kilos. Oh, you seem to have frozen. I don't know if this is. Hello. Seems to have disappeared. Chris seems to have disappeared from the Zoom. But as I was saying, I don't know if you can hear me, that I used to weigh 60 kilos more. And